Hello there. I'm Danny J.
I'm Joel N.
I'm Trevor D.
And together, we are Keep On Tolkien.
And today, we're here to talk about some not-so-pleasant subjects.
Not a fun topic today. We normally don't really talk about current events as we are a fantasy comedy podcast.
Right.
But today, we feel the need to speak up about the situation here in our home state of Minnesota, as we do proudly wear the badge of Minnesotans, on the show even.
So today, we're going to talk to you about the current federal occupation of our home by the Department of Homeland Security, because in the simplest and most accurate way to describe this would be occupation.
Straight up.
Yeah, and we don't want this subject to get buried in the news cycle, especially with all the other crap that's going on, like this new war.
We just started a new war the other day. Cool. So yeah, that we want this to be relevant as long as possible. So we're trying to do our
despite
little
the
part.
fact that they have drawn down troops and they want people to forget about it, and despite the fact that there's much bigger things going on, we really want to
It's still happening.
continue to shine a light on this issue because it is still happening and it is a big deal to us.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, let's give you all a brief background on what they're calling Operation Metro Surge.
So in 2025, the Department of Homeland Security, they hired over 12,000 new ICE agents, and that's Immigrations and Customs Enforcement agents.
yeah, and it would have been closer to 24,000 agents, but half of these intended hires could not pass an open book assessment covering simple things like when it is okay to enter a house or when it is okay to use deadly force. So ultimately, we got a huge surge of extremely poorly trained agents in 2025.
It's crazy when you brought this bit up. I didn't see at first that it said open book assessment.
Yeah, it was an open book assessment.
For any of you who are unaware, that means you get to use the textbook at will, and they still couldn't do it.
Now, in December of 2025, the U.S. Department of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, a.k.a. ICE, began what they called Operation Metro Surge here in the Twin Cities, where the Trump administration sent over what ended up being over 4,000 ICE agents to Minnesota for this just absolute reckless enforcement. This ended up being the largest immigration enforcement operation in American history, and around 650 federal agents still remain in Minnesota to this day. So that's as of March 3rd. So it is far from over. That's still over four times the normal number of federal agents in the state. So they have very much a strong presence here still. It is still an issue. And if they're not here, they're elsewhere. So today we'd like to talk to you about the harm that this presence has caused in our community,
Right.
as well as the very inspiring community response.
Right, that's also key as well. So let's talk about some of the bad things that have happened since the occupation, because there are, it's pretty bad, you guys. I don't know if you've been following, but we wanted to read this excerpt from Arch News. It's an article that we feel describes the reality on the ground pretty friggin' well here. And this is from the Art News article, "Risking Your Life is Unbelievably Inspiring. Minneapolis artists put their bodies on the line against ICE."
Sam Gould reports that, quote, "I don't think any video can explain the level of violence and chaos they have brought to the neighborhood. Cars are left idling halfway in the street because they pulled people out of their cars and just left them there. I've had multiple neighbors kidnapped. They tried to take a young mom in the neighborhood, but people are putting their bodies between the people and the agents. They've been met by tear gas and concussion grenades. People are being beaten. This has been our daily reality for 6 or 7 weeks. I'm sick of fighting ICE every minute of the day," end quote, said artist Sam Gould, who is on the MCAD faculty. Quote, "But that is our present reality here, so I just have to keep going."
Yeah, we thought that pretty well reflected what we're seeing and experiencing on the ground as well. Things are pretty grim.
Paints
Yeah.
a pretty vivid picture.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, one of the things, the cars just left idling. Like, that's some, like, post-apocalypse shit.
They have
dude.
left vehicles in gear with no drivers rolling down the street.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's crazy irresponsible.
It's absolute chaos here, guys. Like, honestly.
Yeah, so this occupation has resulted in the indiscriminate assault, detainment, and murder,
That's right.
some might say execution, of U.S. citizens. And so just to list some examples of this, there's, of course, the murder of Renee Good by ICE agent Jonathan Ross.
That happened, right off the bat in this whole
that was
Operation
that was
Metro Surge.
earlier on in the surge. Yeah, Agent Ross is a local ICE agent here from Minnesota. So good job, bud. Really helping your community.
Cool.
And then, of course, there's the murder of Alex Preddy by Border Patrol agents Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Patrol officer Raimundo Gutierrez. These are two lovely agents from Texas that found their way up here and just both decided to open fire at the same time into the back of this ICU nurse.
Yeah. So that happened. There's also been hospitalization of infants. That's right, infants, babies.
Multiple, yes.
Due to ICE's indiscriminate use of tear gas and chemical irritants on bystanders. I mean, we're talking about weapons that can't be used in war here, guys. Like, this is against the Geneva Convention, and we use them on our own people.
Mm-hmm. There's also the illegal entry into the homes of U.S. citizens without a judicial warrant. That's directly against the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, they're raiding local high schools. They're tear gassing students when students protest. Organ transplant patients are being detained and not given their meds to prevent the rejection of their organ transplant.
As well as just straight up indiscriminate assault and detainment of our neighbors through unethical means, right? I mean, we had them using children to lure people out.
Very famously, yeah.
Very famously, right?
Yeah, a small boy being held outside his family's home to lure out the parents.
Yeah.
Or another recent incident, there were two plainclothed female ICE agents who pretended their car broke down.
I saw that. They Red Dead Redemption, those dudes. Yeah,
they pretended a car broke down in front of the house of a guy they were targeting who they knew was a mechanic, and so he very kindly came out to help them, and they swarmed him, and they tackled him, and they arrested. It's just really messed up, crooked shit.
It's absolutely insane, guys. It's hard to even like sit and talk about this with you guys now because we've become so close with a lot of you guys. It's like it's weird talking about this with y'all. So yeah,
they've been so stupid and racist about all this that like even our indigenous population is being targeted.
Yeah, talk
right.
about
clearly not immigrants.
Talk about the opposite of an immigrant.
Right.
Like
the most American of Americans, indigenous folks. Yeah, and we have a pretty high indigenous population when it comes to like large U.S. cities here. Minneapolis, one of the highest urban indigenous populations in the world, I believe.
Yeah,
well,
a lot of folks
there's
around.
tons of places that are named after different tribes and things.
Right,
around
everything
here,
here is named after. Yeah, it's all Native American stuff. Yeah,
it's all yeah.
And this is very much their land, and they're still being targeted by these scumbag ICE agents. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so the result of all of this is a terrorized populace. You know, people are afraid to leave their homes. Businesses are closing for fear of their employees and their customers.
Oh, yeah.
Schools have closed. You know, there's indiscriminate assaults and arrests of even protesters. Your right to publicly protest is being attacked by these people.
First Amendment rights. That's right.
Yeah, so because of all of this, we as Keep on Tolkien podcast, especially being centered here in Minnesota, we just wanted to take the time to officially denounce all of this ridiculous fascist shit.
Yeah, we just want to say that. With our chest out, fuck fascism, we hate all this.
We demand a complete withdrawal of federal agents from all cities and states in the United States.
That's right.
Because I think they have proven at this point that this agency should not exist.
In fact, we think it should be abolished.
Yeah, I was going to say
there's no good reason for its existence.
We straight up, and when we say abolish, we don't mean retool, we don't mean reform, we mean abolish, get rid of for good, forever. Thank you.
Yeah, and some people may say, well, who else is going to do this? I don't know. Maybe the people who did it for the decades and decades prior, because ICE is not an old organization.
2013.
It's a very recent
insane
organization. There are other branches that handle these things and have historically in the past. And we demand, as Keep on Tolkien podcast, that all senior officials that were in any way associated with especially Operation Metro Search be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And we're talking Nuremberg trials too. Back and Bergier
than before. Yeah, that's what we want. I mean, we joke because we're funny guys, but like seriously, that's what we want. We want to see these people prosecuted, and we want justice to be served.
Yeah, the fact that they have withdrawn is not the end of it. Like, that's the bare minimum, is them not being here causing shit. The fact that they have, we still need justice.
Yeah.
Right. And remember, this kind of violent occupation by feds, it likely will not end when they are gone from Minnesota.
Exactly. If they're not here, they're elsewhere.
We're not even the only ones to have been targeted.
No, we
Like,
just seem to have
communities.
gotten the brunt of it because
Right, California, Chicago, there are other places that have had
Yeah.
ice come in. We just have the
Newark.
most ice.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted to throw out a shout out to one of our favorite podcasters, Marcus Parks from Last Podcast on the Left. He said something that
I would say a personal hero. I wouldn't even say
Yeah,
a favorite podcast.
100%. Yeah,
I love that the quote you're about to read comes from an episode about Himmler.
Yes.
And this is from their amazing series on Heinrich Himmler, who's the leader of the SS, if you're not familiar, right? Wow, just listen to that
It
series.
was an amazing series, an amazing 6-part series.
timely, too.
So, our good friend, not our friend, he doesn't know us.
Yeah.
Somebody we love, Marcus Parks.
You like to tweet
said-
of mine once.
He said, quote, "If you believe that it was happening in our country is right now is wrong, then please stand up, especially if you're respected in your community, and say that it is wrong. Say it to your family, say it to your friends, because the bad people are coming, whether you want them to or not. And like the German people of World War II, you will suffer even if you don't stand beside them." And
That's right.
I thought those words were so true. And this was before the invasion of Minnesota.
Yeah, that was more when we just had the background fascism that we've had.
All
for,
the buildup. And after the invasion of Minnesota, this line just kept ringing through and through in my head. And it's so true. So keep that in mind, friends.
Yes.
Stand up and say that it is wrong.
Yeah.
And that's
say
what we're
it
trying to do.
with your chest out. Say it over and over again. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. Make sure people know that this is not right.
And there are a lot of people that are doing just that.
Oh,
And
yes.
That's another thing that we wanted to talk about today.
We actually kind of learned this in Tolkien. All bad things also kind of have a good thing that kind of comes along with them usually, right?
A bit of
Some
balance.
kind of a little bit of balance in the universe, as it were. So let's talk about some of the good things that came out of this horrible, fucking awful situation.
Yeah, so if there's one thing we want our listeners to take away from this public service announcement today is that this moment has sparked an inspiring community response that has grown into a massive grassroots movement nationwide.
I mean, yeah, this is mutual aid to the max, you guys. I mean, it's insane what's happening here.
Yeah, let's just throw out some examples just so people know what we're talking about. We're talking like neighbors delivering food to people who are afraid to leave their homes.
Yeah, parents and community members are standing guard at bus stops and outside schools, daycares, and immigrant-owned businesses.
Yeah, we have friends who do exactly that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's everyday people are joining neighborhood like signal chats and stuff to track the movement of ICE officers through our neighborhoods, so we can all be aware where they're going to strike next. I mean, this is real bullshit, you guys. Like, we're actually like
And real props to those people because they're actually being targeted by ICE as well.
Yeah.
A lot of them are, they're coming out of their homes and they're like honking and whistling and yelling and stuff. They're filming whenever federal agents are around to make these illegal arrests.
And
I got my whistle right here.
That in itself, one of my biggest takeaways when this all started is that is one of the best things a community member can do is when something like that's happening is basically coming out, honking, whistling, yelling.
Make a
and
fuss.
Filming them.
Draw awareness.
Being loud and filming them, drawing awareness and recording them. Those
And
are
they don't like it, you guys.
they don't like it. And they're
They don't
gonna,
like it one
sometimes they'll
fucking
tell
bit.
you that you can't even do it, which is
Which
absolutely
is
not
total
true.
bullshit. Yep.
I mean,
But, yeah.
shit, man, over 60,000 people turned out on Friday, January 23rd. It was like negative 20-degree weather.
I was there,
Negative
friends.
20 degrees Fahrenheit, my
for
friends.
a
That was
massive
crazy.
protest in downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah, I was there, and then I went home and sat on the internet and had people tell me it was AI the whole time.
Yeah, no, not true.
Yeah, no, I was there, friends. There was that many people in that degrees, negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well,
Super cold.
And to add to that, there was also a statewide general strike going on.
Yeah, the general
Same
strike
day, yeah.
was a huge milestone because general strikes are not something that frequently happen in the
No,
U.S.
in the
anymore.
United States, no way. I mean, they're frequently frowned upon, honestly, because like they're so drastic, right?
You might find some targeted strikes, like against a specific business.
Right, labor stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
but never like an overall anyone and everyone general strike, don't go to work when you
Yeah.
need to protest kind of thing.
Don't go
It
to
was-
work. Don't support any business that day. Like,
Yeah.
no
It was
transactions.
inspiring. It was
Yeah.
inspiring, and there's actually a tenant strike that's that took place on March 1st as well. That they're going through, no forced payment of rent while
Mhm.
under occupation, kind of thing.
Right.
Some really inspiring things, like a kind of standing up for your rights that we haven't seen in, generation.
Right. Yeah. And I was listening to people say that this is the most successful, the general strike was the most successful one we've had in well over 100 years in this country. And one of the last really successful ones, Minneapolis, 1934. Look that up. That's a fun story.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, another great example of the community rising up is a group of indigenous folks have set up teepees and camp just about less than a mile from the Whipple Federal Building over on Fort Snelling grounds,
Right.
As a protest. Also as a demand to return some of the land that the fort still owns.
Yeah. And so Fort Snelling, for people that don't know, it was the fort that was built here before the cities were even here, and it was used to violently oppress Native Americans for many years.
Yes, it is one of the known Native American concentration camps that America had.
Yeah.
It was
Straight up.
a very big and prominent one. It's not a moment of pride for Minnesotans.
No, not really. But yes, these indigenous people are always coming out for these kind of protests too. I love the indigenous community in Minnesota. They're fucking awesome.
So another thing that's one of our favorite things to come out of all of this has been the use of art.
Oh, yes.
In the fight against fascism. Lots of amazing art is emerging from the Twin Cities to resist. And
yeah, my favorite thing about this whole thing, people are getting this shit tattooed, man. And artists were doing this tattoo for free. The Rebel Loon.
Oh, the Rebel Loon.
The Rebel Loon.
I'm glad that you brought this up because this has got to be one of the coolest
cool
pieces of imagery to come out of all of this art. So some artists, I can't say specifically who it was.
I don't know where it started,
but it's blown up. So artists have been depicting the Minnesota state bird, the loon, the waterfowl bird. It's really cool looking, black with like a pointed beak and red eyes. They've been picturing
white polka dots.
They've been depicting the loon in the shape of the Rebel Alliance logo from Star Wars.
Right.
And it's really cool. As a Minnesota guy and also a very big Star Wars nerd.
Oh, yeah.
It hit me right in the feels. I loved it.
The nerd community here is over the moon about the Rebel Loon, and people have been throwing it up all over the country in support of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day had it on his guitar during a performance.
A lot of folks have been doing it for the state birds of every state too, which is really
which
cool.
is also really cool. And so the loon, if you may not know about the loon, it is a weird bird.
It is a strange bird.
Strange bird. And I heard a loon fact the other day, just to lighten the thing up here. And it's actually, I swear to God, this isn't a threat, this fact, but it's true. So loons are known to have killed bald eagles.
What the fuck?
Who threaten their young.
Jesus Christ.
And they do this by diving under the water and stabbing their dagger-like beak through the hearts of the eagles. This has been spotted. People have seen it. In 2019, it was spotted in Maine, I believe.
That's fucking horrifying.
This shit happens. Yeah, loons, when you fuck with their young or their neighbors, right? Mm-hmm. They can kill an eagle. How about that?
They're also strange in that they need a certain amount of open water in order to fly. So sometimes during the cold season, they'll land on small lakes and things, and then overnight, ice will creep onto the lake and they won't have enough open water to catch flight, and they'll get stuck on a lake. Yeah. It's kind of weird. It's weird. They're not just like a duck. They can't just up and fly away.
No, very strange birds, but we love them in Minnesota. And the rebel...
Our loon.
Yeah.
Our loon tangent.
I like that the Rebel Loon is, if you were to just tweak it a little bit, it says rebellion. Rebel Loon.
Rebel Loon.
In a way. Yeah. It almost works.
Maybe that was part of the whole thing from the beginning, and we just totally missed it.
You're right over that.
Maybe,
right over that.
Maybe. Yeah, and artists of all different shapes and and persuasions have been doing this. Musicians have been, there was a drum protest.
Yeah,
that was
just
pretty fun.
General noise protests.
Yeah, noise protests.
That's been a really big notable form of protest throughout this movement.
Yeah, making noise outside of ICE agents' hotel rooms has been a pastime of the public.
Yes, that is an ongoing thing. And props to you guys. Staying up all night out in the cold in like January and February, being loud and protesting. That takes some stamina. Good job, you guys.
Yes. You're the best. Owners of local screen printing and painting studios are offering free anti-ice paintings if you bring blank t-shirts and sweaters or signs.
Yeah, basically like if you bring the medium, they'll print it for you for free.
They'll print
which
that
is
bitch.
A really cool service.
Yeah, super
That's a
cool.
really cool way to help the community. Also, at a popular annual event called the Art Shanty Projects in the Lake Harriet, there was a little gingerbread house inspired pop-up shack called the Wicked Winter Shanty that was hosting a little activity called ice crushing, where you literally get, quote, fragile, transparent little icemen. They have little, like, basically ice cubes shaped like stickmen that you get to crush with a hammer.
That's fun.
Love that. That's pretty funny.
That's fun.
Yeah, just let loose. Just get your frustrations out, crushing these fragile little icemen.
That's honestly, another really great way you can use art to resist fascism is mock fascism. Yeah. Because they really fucking hate that.
They really hate that.
They really don't like it because they have no sense of humor, first of all. They can't create art. They can only appropriate or destroy it, right? So
kind of like Melkor with life.
Right, exactly.
He cannot create it. He can only manipulate it to his purpose.
Yeah, it's almost like the bad guys in Tolkien are fascists, and we might be talking about that in a second.
Oh, shit.
But just to add a couple more things, right? So there have been a ton of benefit concerts, too. You know, big names like Bruce Springsteen, Brandy Carlisle, Dropkick Murphys, Kiss a Tiger. There's been some others.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the boss, Bruce Springsteen, wrote a song called Streets of Minneapolis. It went to #1 or whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're out there and you're an artist, consider using your artist to speak out, too. Like, everybody's doing it. You should, too. You know, art is on our side, love is on our side, beauty is on our side.
Right. And this reminds me of one of my favorite quotes of all time from one of my favorite songwriters of all time, Phil Oakes. And it is, quote, "In such ugly times, the only true protest is beauty."
Beautiful.
Yeah, keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, and if you want any information on ongoing community support and ways that you can help in the community, there are many organizations providing food and clothing, as well as hygiene products and laundry and other resources. And we'll have links to those resources in the description.
Yeah, check out the description of this video. It'll be a video slash lots of things. Check out the description, guys. You'll see that in there.
Yeah. But hey, we wouldn't be a Tolkien podcast if we didn't talk about Tolkien.
That's right.
At least a little bit. So let's
relate this to some shit that we understand, okay? Because fascism is hard to understand as a not crazy person, right? If you understood it, you'd be crazy.
I'm sure those crazies don't understand it either.
So yeah, Tolkien and the struggle against fascism, what did we learn? That's his section, okay? So during our tenure at KOT, we've learned a lot of fun lore and also many life lessons. Honestly, I've learned a lot of valuable things from researching on this podcast.
Exactly, me too.
But now, friends, it is time to apply what we have learned on KOT. That's right. This is the final test. You probably didn't know it, but we've been secretly training you to be anti-fascist this whole time.
Ha-ha.
Surprise. Ha.
Got you.
So,
bet you didn't see that coming.
Bet you didn't see it coming. Something they did see coming, actually, though, we can relate this to. The fall of Numenor and the rise of fascism, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably the most comparable situation within Tolkien that we can compare.
Right. There's so many.
It's almost two on the nose.
But yeah, this is almost straight up two on the nose. And when Trevor suggested it, I kind of felt that way for a second. I was like, maybe that's two on the nose. But no, this is a perfect way. If you know about the fall of Numenor, which we're going to give you some information on, you'll know about the rise of fascism, right?
Yeah, so, you know, we all loved learning about the Kingdom of Numenor from its glory days to its destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And the fall of Numenor is something that we have covered quite a bit. So if you've been listening, you should know all about it.
Yes.
You know, but Numenor, like the USA, it was a mighty nation.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it was destroyed slowly from within before the island was swallowed by the sea.
Right, that was kind of the nail in the coffin. But it had, you could pretty much argue that it was done way before that, right?
It was kind of dead before it was ultimately destroyed. It was kind of already
in the water.
It fell and then it sank.
Yeah, from the internal decay of its own society, basically, which is what we fear we are seeing right now in the United States.
Internal decay of society. That's right.
Oh, well, Danny, you threw in a pretty cool quote here from Abraham Lincoln from the Lyceum Address.
Right. This is an early Lincoln.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's an early hit. If destruction be our lot, we must ourselves be its author and finisher. As a nation of free men, we must live through all time or die by suicide. There are no other options.
Can you summarize that in a simpler way?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's coming from within, right? Like we're so great and powerful that there's no other. There's actually, this is a shortening of a really cool quote about, it's like, in the trial of 1,000 years, we could never be invaded by anybody, right? Because America was mighty at the time.
But if destruction be our lot, It'll come within.
Coming from within. That's what he's saying, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is 1838. This is like way before the Civil War, and that's what he's talking about, right? Like he's going to oversee the Civil War in the 1860s. He's talking about it in the 1830s. Like it was
insightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we believe that lessons learned from the fall of Numenor can be applied to what we're seeing in the U.S. right now. So let's kind of talk about some of the things that we see
in both. Yeah. First one, the fetishization of strength and power.
The
fetishization. There you go.
The fetachinization.
Yes, fetishization of strength and power.
It's a fun word.
So the Numenorians, right? They started civilization as a bunch of refugees, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were survivors from the war of the First Age, right?
Yeah, and even when they became powerful and seafaring, they were benevolent.
Right. They didn't seek to dominate lesser men. Mm-hmm. Lesser in quotations. We don't like that term, but yeah.
Yeah, when the Numenorians began being corrupted, this is when they began to worship power in a way. They were obsessed with their own strength and greatness, and they began to use their greatness to oppress and conquer other groups rather than enrich them like they had done before.
Yeah, this is something that Sauron and Melkor have in common with fascism, Sauron especially was obsessed with order, efficiency, and conformity to the point where he saw free will as an obstacle to his goals.
That's right. He saw people deciding for themselves. He wanted to totally remove that. Like, he wanted efficiency that much to where he's like, you have to be taken out of the equation. The human person. Pretty crazy. And this is happening today under this current regime with all this fascist bullshit, right? The domination of the weak and those deemed lesser by the powerful is commonplace now, right? Violence at the hands of the oppressor is also becoming more commonplace, which is exactly what we're seeing here in Minnesota with the occupation, right?
Yep.
We saw all this happen in Numenor with the cruel oppression of their fellow men in Middle-earth, right? When they started sailing back. And the human sacrifices that became commonplace.
Yeah, human slaves, human sacrifices to worship Melkor. Yeah, Operation Metro Surge is a prime example of this, as well as the next point.
Yeah, what's the next point?
Yeah, the othering of vulnerable populations.
Right, this is something we see here in America and also in Numenor before the fall. This is also sometimes called scapegoating, right? This is when the group in power blames another less powerful group of people for problems facing society, right? This happens all the time today. That's what the Trump administration says all of our problems are caused by immigrants, right?
Exactly. It's such a marginal, minuscule percentage of our population. Like, it's so silly.
It's so silly.
Well, the problem in Numenor was their mortality, right? Like, the powerful blamed the much smaller and less powerful group, the faithful, and because they still believed in the Valar and they accepted the gift of death. They were cool with it.
Mm-hmm. So they blamed the faithful are the ones causing Numenor
right,
to...
that was their scapegoat.
Their scapegoat,
is the word we just used, right?
Yep.
So all of Numenor's problems were blamed on the faithful, the Eldar, and the Valar.
Pretty much everybody except us, right? Except the people that need to be pointed at.
So we're seeing this take place today, in the U.S. The targeting of immigrant non-white populations is a staple of fascism, just as it was a key tool for Sauron.
That's right. Divide and conquer.
But why do they do this?
Yeah, why do they do this? To undermine solidarity, friends. This is a key function of fascism, is also a mainstay of the strategy of Sauron and Melkor.
Yeah, both Sauron and the fascists, they know when people work together for the greater good that there's no stopping them, right? We're stronger, strength in numbers, as they say.
That's right.
Yeah, it's only when people are made to fight amongst themselves and distrust one another that Sauron and other fascist leaders win. And there are literally too many examples of this to mention. It is also just a strong theme throughout Tolkien's work that, when they divide us, they're able to conquer us. So stay strong together.
And that's, I think, one of the main things you can take from Tolkien just in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how do we resist, right? How do we use these things that Tolkien taught us to resist? Tolkien gave us all the tools we need to resist fascism. And I think it's high time we use them, y'all. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's do it.
I mean, number one, right? Solidarity.
Solidarity.
Right? We mentioned
exactly.
It's by far the most important thing.
Yeah, because that's what we've been seeing a lot of in our community that's been so amazing is this solidarity.
Yeah, we have to remain steadfast together. And, we can't allow these divisions to separate us.
Right.
At all. And just as solidarity is the only way to beat Sauron, it is one of the strongest ways to beat fascism.
That's right.
We have to stick together.
That's it. There's no other option, right? We have to. And another thing, there is always hope. Aragorn said it in The Two Towers. Never give up. It's important that we never give in to despair, regardless of how tough things get. And friends, they will get tough, and they are going to get tough.
If this recent invasion of Minnesota isn't a good enough example, there's going to be more.
Yeah, fascism is enough of an existential threat to give even the most optimistic of us a grave case of depression.
Yeah, Tolkien has taught us, there will always be dark times. But if we stick together and we don't give up that hope, that things will be all right.
That's right. And the final thing that Tolkien teaches is just like John Lennon and Paul McCartney. All you need is love, right?
All you need is love.
It is important to know that fascism is an ideology based on hate and exclusion. So therefore, you have to combat it with what? Love, acceptance, and understanding. Love your friends, love your families, love your communities. Keep the love of all things good and beautiful in your heart at all times and never let it go. Never let anybody take it from you. That's it, I think. That's pretty much...
Yeah. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need, yeah.
Love, solidarity.
Solidarity, love, and hope. That's what we need, guys.
And in case you need a little help fighting that, right?
Yes.
We've got some resources.
We do.
We went around the internet and found some different things that we think are positive causes that you can help get involved if you'd like. Lots of places accept donations or volunteer work and such. So in the description, we'll have some resources ranging from things that are, both local and national legal resources and guidelines around ICE, ways to participate in ongoing community support, and even just, news articles for information on the goings on. So definitely take a look at that stuff. If you're interested, you might make somebody's day.
Yeah. And don't forget to support your community.
That's right. Always support.
Stand up for your neighbors.
Stand for your neighbors. They're all we have, right? All we have is each other. And the only way we're going to get through this is to stick together.
Yep. If you see something that's wrong, say something.
That's right. And yeah, and just like Marcus Parks said, just point it out. When it's wrong, say it's wrong and say it loud,
But that's all we've got for you today with our public service announcement, friends. We love you all.
Yeah.
Stay strong out there.
Stay strong, comrades. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird message to send out. I never thought we'd have to do something like this.
Yeah, when we started this podcast, I didn't see us getting to this point. But,
no,
it seems hard not to say anything at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel right not saying something.
And there's a lot of parallels between the real world and Tolkien's. So.
Right, and that's a teachable moment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, gang, like we said, stay strong. I am Danny J.
I'm Joel N.
I'm Trevor D.
And together we are Keep on Tolkien. Aure and Tuluva.